Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Rutgers Dynasty here on College Football 27. Today we're here at Ryan Field taking on the 3-3 Northwestern Wildcats as they come off their first conference win of the season, 35-20 last time out against Michigan State, and their running back was even Conference Player of the Week here in the Big Ten with 4 rushing touchdowns, as we'll get to that a little bit later. But talking about our Rutgers Scarlet Knights, 5-1, a very fast-paced start here to this rebuild. Did not expect already to have a signature win to our credit, as we took down number 5 Indiana a few weeks back and are now coming off a tight win against Maryland as we came back there on the final drive. Dylan Lonergan did it yet again, his second start as the Rutgers starting quarterback, and he has now led 2 comeback efforts to start his tenure here. We are going to start with the ball now in week 8 as we are now underway here from Ryan Field. And we're just going to go fair catch there, knee it in the end zone, take the touchback, and start at the 25. And as we said, Lonergan, our quarterback, as he had 215 passing yards, 2 touchdowns last week, and only 2 interceptions so far on the season. Of course, split time with A.J. Sarace in the first few weeks, but has since pretty much secured the starting role. Now here out of the gate, we will just check to a run with that stacked offensive line in this wingback set. And we'll go Antoine Raymond up the middle, 6 yards short of 200 on the ground last week. He had a big run in the fourth quarter to lead our comeback effort. Now 2nd and 6 at the 29. It was Blake in motion. Lonergan takes the snap. Go there to the sideline for Raymond. He does make the catch, and for 4. Now 3rd and short, we're going to go gun Trey and bring 4 receivers out there for one of the few times. Crowd rocking here at Ryan Field as Lonergan takes the snap. We're trying to wait for KJ Duff. We weren't even looking to the right side of the field. Quarterback vision a little off that time as Northwestern stands strong. We were trying to catch him off guard a little bit there with the 4 receiver set, something we don't really run too much in this offensive scheme. And now Jacob Anderson on for the punt as we hope to get a lucky bounce here. And we will at the 30-yard line or so. Bounces back to the 23. So the Northwestern Wildcats forced to punt on the opening drive of the game, which will bring out Aidan Chiles and Caleb Komolafe, the reigning Big Ten Offensive Player of the Week. 4 touchdown runs on 10 carries last week. Very efficient, and he's not even the leading rusher on this team. Aidan Chiles at quarterback, of course, the Michigan State transfer. As they go Caleb Komolafe, his first game. Nice juke move there at the sideline. That's actually Joseph Himon II. He's their leading rusher, but they do mix in both backs pretty evenly, and they keep both of them fresh. Wildcats move it to the 40-yard line, first down, man in motion there, as they will go back to the ground game for the running back. And a nice gain again for 8. That was Komolafe that time. As we said, mixing him up already. 1 carry to 1. Now back to the ground there for Komolafe as he breaks a tackle, and it's going to take a team effort all day, it appears, as it took 2 Scarlet Knights defenders to rip him down. And the Wildcats already across midfield. Setting up now at the 43, man in motion. They pop it to him this time. And that was Ty Morris in pursuit. Good tackle, a 3-yard gain. A lot of experience on this Northwestern team, especially on offense, as they return a lot of players from last year, especially at the skill positions, as they go back to the running game. And a nice gain for 5 to the outside for Hyman. 3rd and short at the 35. Pretty much field goal range, you would think, but they have been a little aggressive, our opponents so far, going for it on 4th and short in this range of the field. A quick one there as he tries to get the tight end, but good coverage as Kevin Levy made a good play to disrupt that. Now 4th down. Northwestern going to play it aggressive here at home as they go back to the running game there. Komolafe breaks the first tackle, but it's going to be stopped there in the backfield. And Kevin Levy, injury timeout. Also Komolafe going to be out on the injury timeout, but our defense stands strong here as we follow up a great effort from the Northwestern defense to start, as both offenses starting with nothing in this game. Now first down, we'll go back for Antoine Raymond, and so stay patient, get 6. Try to work in some motion triple option here, designed for Ben Black. As Lonergan will go out wide now, make the pitch there for Black, and he will work across midfield, a nice gain for 12. We have had good success on triple options so far this season. I really like that wrinkle in our offense. And now Lonergan here, first down. Trying to wait for Duff over the middle. And we will finally go for him as he finds the soft spot. Now good blocking downfield as KJ Duff up the sideline. Now off to the races, and KJ Duff, 48-yard house call as the Rutgers Scarlet Knights set the tone early on. And it's been a struggle to get KJ Duff involved consistently in the offense. But that time, Lonergan a tremendous job keeping his eyes downfield, working towards the sideline, finding space, and waiting for his top target to get open. It's only a matter of time as Lonergan ran out of space, but just in time able to get that throw off. And look at the blocks downfield. Jashawn Benjamin, I think that's Ben Black chip in there, and KJ Duff finishes all the way to the end zone, and the Scarlet Knights on top. The Wildcats offense back out there after the big play from the Rutgers offense. We haven't had many of those through the air, especially this season, mostly on the ground. And now they will go for Komolafe as he's met in the gap, but he does get 2 yards now, 2nd and 8. Chiles on the drop back, and we'll just throw it away. Great coverage downfield that time for Rutgers. Now here, 3rd and long for the Wildcats. Man in motion again there. And he'll set in the backfield, then back the other way. And now Chiles takes the snap. Moving around in the pocket. Will throw across his body, and that's intercepted by Kaj Sanders. Weird decision that time from Chiles. Thought he might just commit to the run there. Had some space to maybe pick up the first down, but instead goes across his body there in close proximity to his intended target. But Kaj Sanders there to pick it off. I think his 2nd interception now, the junior safety, who is at high risk of transferring due to brand exposure. But hopefully we can give him some NIL and keep him around because he's our leader on the back end there. And we'll take another look at the play. Chiles, reformatting himself in the pocket and then kind of even there in that horizontal pass. And that went behind his man right into the hands of Kaj Sanders. Now Rutgers set up very well to make something happen here. At the 33, we'll go RPO and try and get Ben Black there at the sideline and try and get the spin. Nothing doing, and we will get 2. With the lead here deep in Northwestern territory, we'll try a play action here. 2 tight ends out there. Cameron Anthony, the Ball State transfer, had a huge game last week, over 50 receiving yards. We'll just dump it off there for Raymond, but it's knocked down. That's a shame because he had a lot of room to run that time. We're going to go screen, but I think with the light box, we'll just give Benjamin a chance to make it happen on the ground. Worst case, we get a field goal attempt. 3rd and 8. As Benjamin does get a nice blocking lane there up front, and he gets 13. The duo of Antoine Raymond and Jashawn Benjamin really held on strong down the stretch for us last week. I think both went for over 70 or 80 rushing yards, but of course, Raymond had a bunch more as we'll go Clay Thievenin now on the triple option, and he'll work that inside the 10-yard line down to the 6. And sprinkling that triple option, especially when the passing game is working, can throw a lot of fits at the defense. Now 1st and goal at the 6. And we'll go back for Antoine Raymond as he's brought down at the line of scrimmage or behind it. Kobe McKenzie on the stop. Now I think we'll go play action here, maybe just dump it off for Thievenin as they do send the blitz. We'll get Thievenin there, but not the best throw. We will get a gain, but it kind of forced Thievenin to go back to the ball. So we'll go RPO here. I think we might get Duff there working outside. Otherwise, Raymond hopefully can slip through a lane. We'll just go for Duff there, use his big frame, try to dump it over the top for him, but to no avail. So here, 4th and goal at the 4. Maybe should have ran it a couple times there. We'll just try and make it a 2-possession lead now. I hate these tough angles. I kind of just want to go delay of game to knock it back a bit further, which is exactly what we decided to do. Maybe it would have been better off bringing the offense and maybe trying to go for a hard count, but still kind of a tough angle, especially wind going that direction. Definitely just don't want to overdo it either side. As Jai Patel up from 26, that one up into good hands, and the Scarlet Knights do get points off the turnover as we tack on 3 more. 10-0 now here as the 1st quarter winds down. Let's see how Chiles responds off the turnover. Again, that one a very poor decision. Working across his body in tight quarters again there, kind of off his back foot, and how is that dropped? That is Honig, one of the tight ends on this team, and just a blatant drop. I think we do have to start working with the sliders a little bit and maybe make this a little bit more difficult, but for now we're going to enjoy this lead and keep the good times rolling. But again, it's an ongoing fluid process, messing with the sliders and trying to get the best, most competitive product on the field. Now 3rd down, Chiles has a man there in the soft spot as he wraps around a couple defenders there in tight quarters, and that's Griffin Wilde, leading receiver from last year, pretty much owned their receiving market share. I think over 70 catches, over 800 receiving yards. And he's back for more this season. Off the play action, Chiles does get a dump off there. A good tackle and 1-yard gain. 2nd and 9 here at the 44. Setting a linebacker blitz here. as they do get the dump off. Malachi Davis misses the tackle, but his teammate bails him out there. Short gain, injury timeout. 3rd and 7 now for Northwestern. 18 seconds left in the first quarter, maybe the last play here. As Chiles going to go down the field. That one may be out of bounds, but his man catches it, bodies Bradley Jones, and that's Griffin Wilde, who we're just talking about. And that will take us into the second quarter. What a play there from Griffin Wilde. Chiles just heaving it deep, hoping for the best, and his teammate bails him out. So now Northwestern set up pretty well here to start the second quarter of play. KJ Duff, 1 catch for that 48-yard touchdown, and Griffin Wilde is sticking with him. 3 catches for, I think it was 71 yards, it said. And of course, that big one to close out the first half with an exclamation point as the Wildcats trying to scrap their way back. 1st and goal at the 9, playing a little aggressive here with the 3-3-5 inside the 10-yard line as Chiles does get some space. He fumbles, loose ball, and it's eventually picked up by the Wildcats. That would have been something if he turned it over again here, especially inside the 10-yard line. Now 2nd and goal. And they go back for the running game. He breaks a tackle, but then stood up by Kaj Sanders, making another impact play in this game. Big tackle for loss, in addition to that interception, maybe up for Defensive Player of the Week honors if he keeps it up. And Chiles does get into the end zone by way of his receiver, and that's going to be the first touchdown for the Wildcats in this game. That's Wilde, as we said. Now his 4th catch, he does find the end zone, matching KJ Duff, as they're going to probably go back head-to-head. Let's see if we can get KJ Duff back involved, but a very good drive engineered there by Chiles with that deep heave to Griffin Wilde. I mean, he deserves all the credit, I think, on this drive, but Chiles, good response after an interception last time out. Moments ago, coughed it up there, but we just could not secure the fumble, and now the Wildcats find the end zone for the first time in this game, on for the extra point. Good. And now 10-7 early in the second quarter, and Kaj Sanders now an injury timeout. Now we'll have Dylan Brathwaite on for the return. See if he can hit the hole here. He will work that to the 27 early in the second quarter. Now let's just try and feed Antoine Raymond. See if he can work his way down the field for us. Give it to him up the middle. Good blocking as per usual as he makes a good juke move, and he'll work that for 15. Now we'll go zone alert bubble here for Vernon Allen III. It is covered, so we'll just go to the running game, and Benjamin a lot of space there to the sideline. Makes him a miss there with the juke, and another nice game on the ground for Rutgers. We're going to go motion play action verticals, which maybe we can get Black there streaking up the sideline. Maybe Duff just down the field. We're going to check to a run, but we'll just let it play out here. Go with something we haven't really called yet. And now Lonergan working to the right. That was covered downfield. Lonergan now a lot of green grass ahead. Not known really as a runner, but he'll work that all the way down to the 7-yard line. And that goes for a 26-yard scamper. And when you have all those defenders carrying with those receivers going down the field, that can open up things for the quarterback to run it. Now inside the 10. 1st and goal back for Antoine Raymond. Breaks the arm tackle and works into the end zone as he heads towards the mascot. Do a little dance in front of him. And the Scarlet Knights again extend their lead. Antoine Raymond again finds the end zone as he's been one of the most prolific runners in all of college football this season. As Jai Patel on for the extra point, up and good. As it's now 17-7 from Ryan Fields. Northwestern again forced to play some more catch-up here as they'll start at the 13. Going to the ground game, a nice hole opens up, and that'll go for 15. Joseph Himon II that time as he now goes off the field, and they check in his running mate, and they do go for him. Good blocking again, trying to work off a block, and a man misses a tackle. Now he's off to the races. Past the 30, past the 20, past the 10, into the end zone. That one for 72 yards, and Northwestern following our offense now with a big hit of their own. That's Komolafe, the reigning Big Ten Player of the Week, and now making his case to do it again as he matches the punch from Antoine Raymond. And now it's the running game of Northwestern. Ran into his own block there, and Kaj Sanders just kind of fell over there trying to go for the tackle. He's been super solid for us, so I really can't blame him too much this time. And look at Komolafe just eyeing down Chris Joins as he finds the end zone. And a bunch of big plays already in this game with still just under 8 minutes left in the first half. This one is going to be a shootout at this pace. Back to a 3-point lead for Rutgers. Let's see if we can again extend it. Go to the running game there for Raymond, and he goes up the middle for 4. 2nd and 6 at the 29. Right back to him. And so work ahead. A nice gain, that one for 6 again. Now 1st down. And we'll just dump that off for Blake off the RPO, but not a good read, no gain. 2nd and 10, past the halfway point now in the second quarter. And we'll go back for Antoine Raymond. and he'll get 2. 3rd and 8 will go drive under. And Duff on press there. He might be able to win that, but not quick enough. We'll try and go Cameron Anthony, but that's knocked down. Was in his hand there at the end, but he could not haul it in, as we're now forced to punt again. Kobe McKenzie and on the play has been very active so far. And now Northwestern, 5:11 left in the half. Going to get a chance either to draw even or maybe even take the lead, which a few moments ago didn't really seem too realistic. And now we get the bounce again, picked up, and Moses Walker, a huge hit at the sideline. Northwestern taking over at the 23. 5:02 for Northwestern as they go play action up, just up the seam there. Good completion. Chiles now over 100 yards passing, 7 out of 11. 40 at the 43 now. So he's trying to quiet down the crowd. Chiles will just check it down there for a tight end, and that goes for 5. Now into the final 4 minutes of the first half. And then we'll go back to the running game. Great blocking up front as Kaj Sanders coming downhill, and a big hit on Komolafe, who now has over 100 rushing yards, already more than he had last week. And of course, we've mentioned the reigning Big Ten Offensive Player of the Week, as Moses Walker, good move there to get off a block, but does not get the stop, as that's Chris joins the last line of defense there to bring down Himon as they mix him in. Now less than 3 minutes here. First down at the 25. Chiles might have had a man downfield in the seam, but elects there to go for Hayden Elgian instead. And that goes incomplete. Now 2nd down. Chiles to the sideline. That one way off the mark. 3rd and 10 now. See if they can convert. Well, they dump that off to the near sideline, and we missed on the tackle. And that allowed Northwestern to get the first down. We ran into our own teammate. My goodness, and what a self-inflicted wound that was. We're usually pretty technical and spot on with our tackling, but it has been a little wonky here today, I suppose, as we hit the 2-minute timeout. 1st and 10 now at the 15. Northwestern in the red zone trying to strike for the lead here late in the first half. They go back to the ground game as the Red Sea parts there, and they get back into the end zone. I think that's Komolafe yet again, and now make it 2 touchdowns for him, unless that's his counterpart. I lost track of their numbers, but that actually is Himon II. So now both running backs for Northwestern find pay dirt, and we had a 17-7 lead not long ago, and now our lead has dwindled, and we're now forced to play some catch-up as the running game for Northwestern. Really good move there in the 2nd level right before the goal line by Himon II as well. And now with the extra point, Northwestern about to take a 4-point lead. Our offense does have some time to get something back here in all our timeouts as well. We'll give Brathwaite another chance here. Don't like to exploit the returns in this game because you can kind of rack up a lot of yardage, I think. But we're not trying to do all that. Keep it somewhat realistic, as much as we can at least, for being a video game. So 1:53 now at the 18. All our timeouts. And we'll go triple option, get the quick pitch there for Antoine Raymond as he wins the corner now to the sideline. Makes a man miss there on the spin as he works that all the way to the 36. In these 2-minute drill, these hurry-up situations, I don't even mind starting with some runs when we have all our timeouts at our disposal. Jashawn Benjamin there, not going to make anything happen though, as now we'll hurry back, go slants. Here out of a pistol wingback look. Maybe thieve it in there, just dump it off for him going towards the far sideline. Although that was covered. Lonergan just going to step up and try and run again. And so work that to the 40, going to be 3rd and 5, and we'll call our first timeout. 3rd and 5 at the 40. We'll go mesh here. And even Benjamin might be a decent read there on a wheel route. As Lonergan takes a snap, we'll just go quick one there for Blake as he hauls that in, but does not get the first down. I thought at least, he'd get that forward momentum and get the first down, but not the case. And now 4th and inches at the 45. I usually like to play it aggressive here on 4th down, but this is just too close for comfort. We'll just try and pin him back instead as Jacob Anderson back out there. And we'll see how this one goes. Probably going to get caught by the return. I would think he does not catch it. Bounces all the way down to the 3-yard line. So we get the lucky bounce. I don't know why the returner just watched it bounce like that and didn't at least go for a fair catch, but now we can maybe cash on some points, but we do not. They go pitch. And again, great blocking as that's going to go all the way down to the 31-yard line. Again, Komolafe, and he's now at 133 yards. What is going on here? I don't think we've gotten gashed so much on the ground by a single running back so far. As now time winding down. Chiles on the move there to the sideline. Kaj Sanders to bring him down, but he's being affected mightily right now to the wear and tear, so I think we got to take him off. And we put Tilson in there, who Actually is a current red shirt. We're all out of sorts here defensively. And now just chucking it down the field there. Can we get the pick? And that goes in the hands of the Northwestern Wildcats receiver. Is that Wildy again? What just happened? He just lost like 2 defenders on the heave. What is going on? I cannot believe what I just saw. And I was saying we get all, out of sorts here, befuddled on these wear and tear substitutions. And Chiles again just ripping it down the field for Wildy. And I thought we had the pick there, but not the case. DeWood and Chris Joins both got mossed. And now this deficit even bigger, an even deeper hole in just moments. Like I said, we were up 17-7 just, not too long ago. And now the Wildcats up 28-17. What is going on here from Ryan Field? Can we get some heroics here on a return from Dylan Brathwaite, as we have had at least one so far this season? And so try and cut that back, but to no avail. And now I think we'll just call a screen and get out of here. Or get into halftime, that is. As we go for Antoine Raymond, trying to get some things developing downfield. And we will just call timeout. Why not? You never know what's going to happen. And as Lonergan takes the snap. Trying to step up. We just run into our own man, and then we're eventually brought down for their sack. I was trying to step up and maybe survey down the field, but we'll just take the sack and take that into halftime. As what happened, we were sitting pretty, ranked 23 in the nation, which I haven't even mentioned. Our second game after finally finding our spot in the rankings in 12 years. Since 2012. It's been 14 years since Rutgers has been ranked, and we're finally back. But now we have to mount a comeback here on the road against Northwestern here in Big Ten play. And the number 2 Miami Hurricanes fall 31-13 against the Pittsburgh Panthers, the conference opener for each of those teams. Miami was sitting pretty at 7-0, but have now fallen, and they are now going to be falling in the rankings. And now Ohio State probably going to be the favorite at this point. They've been number 1 most of the way, but a lot of rumblings that Miami's going to give them a run for their money. Maybe not anymore. And also number 3 falls as BYU is undefeated, but the UFC Golden Knights give them a loss. And I also saw number 6 Ole Miss leading number 11 Texas. But let's get our mind back where it matters, because we have 11 points to overcome, which is the same case last week and the same case against Indiana. I think we were trailing 11 points in both of those games, so maybe that's just our lucky number. And on that run, you also see Griffin Wildy, a huge block. So Griffin Wildy, have yourself a day between him and the running back. His name escapes me, as he's been escaping our defense. I mean, both of them really. But what a day for this Northwestern offense, as their playmakers have come, and they are out in full force as they're trying to get the upset here at home. But it's been a huge rushing performance for both sides. 350 combined rushing yards on just 32 attempts, 3 touchdowns, as Antoine Raymond and the duo for Northwestern stealing the show. And to make matters worse, we actually kick it off to them to start this third quarter. My goodness, 11 points down, and they are going to start at the 25-yard line. After that Sanders interception, I thought this was pretty much going to be our game to lose. I thought we might be on cruise control, but whenever I think that is when it comes back to bite me, kind of losing focus. And now got to get back into it and make some adjustments. 28-17 here, as Chiles will take that up the middle, and a nice gain. I think my issue, especially in this game, has been just switching between defenders. I just got to commit to one instead of just going button happy here and trying to go for the nearest defender each time. Now they go on the jet, and they get a huge pancake block, but we get a big defensive play there from DeWood, as he's stuck with the ball carrier the whole way, and he makes a huge stop there to make it 4th and inches. Northwestern has to punt here, 3 and out, as our defense sets the tone to start the second half. Ben Black on the punt return will just go straight up the middle, and he'll get a lot of space down to the 42. Now a light box for Northwestern. We're going to Y shallow cross, which we have Dysere Carter in there, a red shirt that we're going to just play 4 games, so we usually would check to a run in this spot, but we want to try and get him a little play underneath, or a little reception underneath, well covered. So instead we'll go there for Ben Black as he makes the grab, and he'll carry a man all the way down to the 29-yard line. So that one I think for 29, as we now have some momentum 2 minutes into this second half. Go back for Antoine Raymond, and still get a decent gain for 3. Now we'll go play action read, working to the far side of the field. Lonergan will just dump that off for Blake again, as he's brought down after 3. 3rd and 3 now. We'll just give it to Raymond up the middle here. Motion duo. As he gets his blocks, gets that past the 10, and gets 13. Now inside the 10, 1st and goal, go smash corners. Might be covered well. Might be able to get some leverage with Anthony using that big body. As Lonergan takes the snap, well covered, and we'll just throw it away. So don't need to get too pretty inside the 10. We'll just give it to Raymond here, see what he can do. And he will bring that into the end zone as Raymond now his 2nd rushing touchdown, trying to keep pace with those explosive running backs featured on Northwestern side. But our Scarlet Knights back in it. We get a much-needed touchdown here, a much-needed stop to start the half. Our offense does their end of the job. And now Antoine Raymond, his 2nd touchdown of the day. Going to be a historic season, we think, for a Rutgers runner, and the game was telling us to go for 2, but we're just going to go for, we're going to take the points here. We trust our defense, we trust our offense, so we don't think a 4-point deficit is insurmountable by any means, especially here early in the 3rd quarter. So see if our defense can hold up again as Northwestern on the return, as they will break the first tackle, but brought down at the 16. Aidan Chiles from the shotgun, going option this time, so he will get the pitch off, and that's going to be Tilson, I think a redshirt freshman, in on the stop. Messiah Tilson, a true freshman, but filling in because Kaj Sanders, I think, will be out for the rest of the game. Now 2nd and 14 after the loss. He does get a man over the middle there, and a good tackle by Kevin Humes. 3rd and 10 now, bringing 5 receivers out there for the Wildcats. We counter with dime. Chiles going down the field there, and he's sacked. And that's going to be Moses Walker, I think his 1st sack of the season. Coverage held up very well downfield. And I'm surprised they just went vertical pretty much with every receiver there. And we saw Moses Walker, the senior linebacker, making up a very good tandem with Ty Morris. And a bunch of guys there getting after the quarterback. Malachi Davis was closing in from the edge, but it was Moses Walker who would eventually get home and force the punt. So our defense, 2 stops to start now the 2nd half, as Dysere Carter on the punt return. Again, the highest recruit Rutgers brought in this past class, giving him the red shirt. He does have star development, one of the few players on this team with star development. One of 3, I think, which includes Lonergan, although he is a senior, so he's not going to get much development from here on out as we start for Benjamin 2 yards. Now, gun tray, 4 receivers. We're actually going to go halfback draw. And that doesn't really work out, as the linebacker sat home and made the stop. That was Jason Reynolds II on the solo tackle. And now we're going to bring 4 receivers out, 3rd and 8, as we hit the halfway point of this 3rd quarter. Lonergan takes the snap. Meant to go A there, but we go B instead, and somehow still Jordan Houston able to haul that in. His 3rd catch of the season. They've all been pretty big ones, especially that 22-yarder to set up a game-winning touchdown in that Indiana game. Now in Northwestern territory, go triple option. As we get the quick pitch there for Antoine Raymond, as he'll try and make a man miss there, as he usually does, but a good tackle there, a 10-yard gain. Now we go duo wrap here, 2nd and inches. Back for Raymond, as he's back for a 1st down. Thinking of going play action crossers with Anthony and Thievenen working over the middle, but we'll just check to a run instead here with Jashawn Benjamin, get him another carry. Thievenen in there, the motion man we get for Benjamin, as he works that up the middle for a 5. 2nd and 5, we'll go motion spot now, try and get Carter his 1st catch, which has eluded him for a while. Now go for Anthony instead, wrapping out or swinging out, and a very good diagnosis there from the linebacker. He was sitting there with Carter, and then when he saw the read, when he saw us dumping it off, he quickly identified his target and made the stop. Now 3rd and 9. Go back to the ground game as Antoine Raymond ripped down, and this drive stalls out, so we'll bring back the field goal unit. This one from 48 yards. Jai Patel hit from 49 last week. This one in a similar spot with 6-mile-per-hour winds. As Patel, the kick is up, and the kick into good hands, and Patel again stays perfect. That one from 48 on the road in a hostile environment. Close game, and it's now just a 1-point deficit for Rutgers. The Scarlet Knights now open the half, scoring 10 unanswered points, trailing by just 1 now. Chiles a quick one there for an open man, and that goes for 2. Griffin Voldy, 6 catches, 142 for 2 touchdowns. I think we keep talking about Offensive Player of the Week. I think he's probably in line for that. Still a lot of time to go here as well. Chiles, a quick one there for him at the sideline as he's hit hard by Bradley Jones, which now brings up 3rd and inches. Again, a tough spot here. 3rd and short for Northwestern. Chiles directly under center for a rare time. They do go for the handoff, and they do get the first down as that goes for 9. All the recent talk about Wilde, I kind of forgot about these running backs that the Wildcats have. And now Chiles again working to the sideline as he does find a man. That goes for 7, and that now brings us to the 4th quarter. Northwestern a 1-point lead here, 28-27. It's the Big Ten, and we're here at Ryan Field, a back-and-forth battle between two teams who, have for the most part been considered bottom dwellers in this prestigious conference. But Griffin Wilde, have yourself a day. Definitely going to be a household name after this game, if not already. Now 2nd and 3 to start the 4th quarter. The fans want the W. Ground game, we do get the stop there short of the first down. That was Himon II that time. Now 3rd and 2, we're going to send the Buck zone blitz here out of the nickel set. Chiles from the shotgun. And they'll try and set that up on the screen, and they will get it. And that's a very nice gain there for 17. Wildcats now into Rutgers territory. Chiles again finds an open man. And he breaks the tackle and then brought down after 16. Drew Wagner, his 3rd catch of the day, the junior. Top 3 on the team, or top 4 receiver on the team last year. Now 1st down, man in motion. And Chiles again, a direct one there to the sideline. That's going to be read well by the Rutgers defense. DK Gilly there to get the TFL. Now 2nd and 12 at the 25. Man in motion again there for Northwestern as Chiles fakes it, but then goes to the man that was in motion, and he makes the catch and takes that for 10. That was Elgion on the catch, working underneath. Now here 3rd and 2. Play some man coverage. As Chiles goes to the ground game, a little hurdle there, as then he spins off the pile and finds the end zone, and the Wildcats extend their lead as he plays the violin, a little sweet symphony for us, and they're now going to make it an 8-point lead with an extra point. We've had no answer for this ground game, and that's Joseph Himon II with his 2nd touchdown. Really matched. Look at that little jump, a little unnecessary, maybe just for the style points, but he added onto it with a little spin off the pile, and he finds himself into the end zone. And our defense, maybe our worst performance of the season, I think now with this extra point. This 35 points will be the most we've surrendered. Only 34 against USC, but Michael Clayton there to say something about it as he gets the block, and it's still just a 7-point deficit, and a huge play there, bigger than it may seem. And that's Michael Clayton, the star corner that we also have a red shirt on. He's played 2 games down, his 3rd game, so we have him for just 1 more game if we want to preserve that red shirt. But what a play there to get the block. And now still only a 7-point lead for Northwestern. We can tie it up here with an outright touchdown and an extra point. We'll start here for Benjamin. As he gets good blocking, gets 7. Now we'll go quick slants, but I want to throw KJ Duff on a 9. It won't let us with the crowd noise. I really like that working against the press, but we'll work here with slants. Lonergan rolling to the right, trying to get KJ Duff there in the sweet spot, and he throws at his feet. Unfortunate miss there for Lonergan. And now here 3rd and 3. Crowd rocking here at Ryan Field. Benjamin does get the first down, though, as that goes for 7. Raymond now back out there trying to keep his legs somewhat fresh as much as we can. And he will get a few up the middle. We'll go zone alert bubble here with Dysere Carter, the primary read, still trying to get him his first catch. And that one was covered well as Antoine Raymond in a lot of space there to the outside. And he'll get that across midfield for 14. Raymond now over 100 rushing yards. I think it was 14 carries for him so far. And then we'll check to a zone alert bubble again. And give it to Antoine Raymond again, this time to the opposite side of the field. A very nice run as that goes for 10 now, more than halfway through this 4th quarter. Here Lonergan takes a snap. Quick one there for Vernon Allen III. That one goes for 4. A little unconventional that time, but we'll take the gain. Now here's 2nd and 6. Lonergan takes the snap. We're trying to work it to the outside there for Carter, but didn't open up. And now Lonergan just going to use his legs as he stalls out there at the 31. Lonergan took a big hit that time. Now 3rd and 4, probably 4 down territory at this spot, so we don't mind going for the running game when it's been so good for us, as well as Antoine Raymond stops short. And that makes it 4th and 2 now. We're going to go stick here. Vernon Allen III there on the right side of the slot might be wide open if we can get a quick one to him. Lonergan takes the snap. We will go that way as he makes the catch. And he keeps the drive alive. Now we're going to go play action slide here to the far side of the field. As Lonergan off the fake. Going to go for Cameron Anthony. And we do get it for him. As he works that for 5. 2nd and 5. Probably the last play before the 2-minute timeout. We'll just go to the ground game here for Antoine Raymond. Nice cut as he works that back up the middle. And he works that inside the 10. So it's going to be 1st and goal at the 10-yard line. As we hit the 2-minute timeout. Just a 7-point deficit thanks to that blocked extra point from Michael Clayton, and Rutgers now finds ourselves on the doorstep. I'm kind of conflicted if we go for 2. If we get it, do we try and drain as much clock as we can, because when we score, we don't want the Wildcats a chance to tie it up. So we'll go back to the running game as Antoine Raymond will just go all the way into the end zone for a hat trick now. Number 3 for number 3, as he's now had his most touchdowns in a single game. So I kind of just answered my own question, I guess. Antoine Raymond answered it for me, rather, as he said, we're not taking any time. We'll just go right in, make it easy, and now rely on the defense to get a late game stop. And just going back to my point earlier, that Michael Clayton blocked extra point didn't seem as big at the time, but look at it now. We're all tied up. Not having to go for a 2-point conversion to tie it up. And that really helps us, because last week we were 0 for 2 on 2-point conversions despite a winning effort. But now plenty of time for Northwestern, all their timeouts as they start here at the 18. All knotted up, 34 apiece. Chiles there will just swing it out. Bad one there, as that'll net 3-yard loss. DK Gilly filling in at safety in place of the injured Kaj Sanders. Big loss for our defense, but we're holding up quite well so far. Now 2nd and 13, Northwestern just letting the clock run down after that loss on the opening play, as Chiles working to the left. And that's almost, well, I don't want to say almost intercepted, but knocked down by Kevin Humes. He was able to break down, get a hand in to force it incomplete. So now 3rd and very long for Northwestern. 3rd and 13, 1:13 remaining. And they go quarterback draw, surprising us that time as we call a timeout. So Northwestern now quickly forced to punt deep in their own zone, and we have a chance for a game-winning field goal if we can work it to about the 35 or so. Somewhere in that range with Antoine Raymond, we can get that, in one play, depending on how this punt return goes, as we are just going to call a fair catch and take over at the 35 with 1:05 left. 2 timeouts for the Scarlet Knights. We're going to catch them off guard, or try to, with some triple option here. As Lonergan gets the pitch there for Guerriere, just I think his 2nd touch of the season overall, and nothing doing there. And we hurried back. I really didn't want to, because I don't like our wing back set that we have right now. But maybe it'll work out for us. Should have called a timeout, but we only had 2 remaining. We already used 1. And now we will just waste the play. Now out of pistol wingback trips, 3rd and 10. If we can get lucky with Antoine Raymond just going down the field like that, that would be great. Maybe KJ Duff if we can get good pass protection. As the play clock winding down, adjusted the pass protection a little bit. As Lonergan takes the snap, rolling to the right. Trying to get KJ Duff. That might be intercepted, as it is not knocked down. Oh my goodness. I want to say KJ Duff playing some defense going back to the ball. And that was a rough throw. We haven't had many. We didn't force many throws at all in this game or over the course of this dynasty so far. As Jacob Anderson, we need a good punt from you, as that will bounce and be picked up, but he already called a fair catch, so he couldn't run with it. And now it's Northwestern with a chance for some late game drama. They still have all their timeouts, only 28 seconds, but a couple big hits, and you're in field goal range. They will not call a timeout, so it looks like they're going to elect to send it to overtime. This is going to be the last play, though, as Chiles will not even snap it, so we're going to have our first taste of overtime in the series, folks. 34-34 here from Ryan Field. A valiant effort in the second half for the Scarlet Knights to tie it up, but we're not done here. And going over the rules, coin toss for choice of offense, defense, or end of the field. Each team gets possession from the 25-yard line, must attempt 2-point conversion after touchdown in second overtime. And I didn't catch what it was for that final rule, but I'm pretty sure I'm up to date now. I know they've been changing a lot of things here in years past. As now on the coin toss, we're going heads as always. Northwestern does win it though, and they're probably going to go defense, I would think, as they do. So the pressure is on us to score. A short field to work with. I feel like light work for Antoine Raymond. As we'll go to him on a stretch here, working it to the outside, committing to the outside, and he gets 3. Let's go Y cross flood now. As Lonergan takes the snap. Is that Dysere Carter? That's Dysere Carter, his first ever touchdown, and it goes for pay dirt here in overtime. What a time for that. We've been trying to get him involved all game long, and finally he finds pay dirt, he finds the ball, and his first ever catch as a Rutgers Scarlet Knight goes for a touchdown. Dylan Lonergan doing a good job of extending the play, resetting and getting that throw off. And he finds Carter. Had a bad miss there. I forget for who. I think for KJ Duff. There at some point in the game during the home stretch, I want to say, of regulation. But Jai Patel, the extra point up. And Dysere Carter, his first ever touchdown. Star development receiver, true freshman. And what a time for that. Now can Northwestern answer? Light box. So I wouldn't be surprised if they just went to the run here. Chiles looks like he was making an adjustment there at the line. They do stick to the pass, though, as that's over the middle and Moses Walker blows it up. I think that was Wildy over the middle, but just could not hang on that time. So second down now after the incompletion. Chiles takes the snap again. They're going to throw it here, as he has a man there going up the sideline or towards the sideline. That's the running back again. That was Joseph Himon II, already 2 touchdowns now here at the 6-yard line. First and goal. Tight end there in motion. As Chiles takes the snap. Ty Morris on the blitz, but it's going to be Jaydan Burnett to get home. Working there, collapsing the edge. And Jaydan Burnett, the Tulsa transfer, with the huge play. I think now his 2nd or 3rd sack of the season. He and Malachi Davis have been a formidable duo for us, both coming in as transfers. Now Chiles for the end zone, and that's knocked down by Kevin Humes. Desperation, good recovery. Getting that hand up there to deflect the pass. Now 3rd down, Chiles. Hit as he threw, and that one going through for a field goal, as now going to come down to this. 4th and goal at the 13, and they have to get into the end zone. Chiles from the shotgun. I'm in the second to his left. Glenn Wildy in motion. Chiles takes the snap. You got to go to the end zone here. As that's not going to go for the end zone, going to go for the grass, as that goes incomplete, and the Rutgers Scarlet Knights overcome another 11-point deficit, this time to win in overtime on the road, as we are now 6-1, and this rebuild is off to a rocket fast start. I just cannot believe the success we've had already in this Warren Wolf era. And Antoine Raymond, 3 touchdowns, the most he's had in a single game. And again, he goes over 100, this time for 142. Dylan Lonergan, another clean game. Almost had a bad interception there towards the end, but it was knocked down. But look at Dysere Carter finding the touchdown late in the game. His first ever catch goes for pay dirt. Another red shirt along with Michael Clayton, who had a huge impact in this game. That blocked extra point allowed us to just, get a touchdown on that late game tying drive. And what a game here on the road. But next week we're at home against Michigan. And last I checked, they were number 8 with a 5-1 ranking. They were number 8 with a 5-1 record. And look at that second quarter. We were outscored 28-7 in the second quarter, but would go on to outscore them 24-6 the rest of the way. And looking at stats real quick, Dylan Lonergan, another clean game, 16 for 24, 156, 2 touchdowns again. But our play style is not going to lure any quarterbacks here to the Scarlet Knights. Antoine Raymond, 21 for 142, 3 touchdowns. Jashawn Benjamin, 8 for 58. He's been a phenomenal number 2 there behind Antoine Raymond. Catching, we had Logan Blake for 3 catches, 7 yards. You gotta love that. Antoine Raymond, 3 for 25. Ben Black, 2 for 30. Dysere Carter, 1 for 22. That touchdown, we're gonna remember that for a long time for our true freshman star development receiver. And also KJ Duff had that 1 for 48 in the first quarter, I think, or maybe our first or second drive, but was silent after that, as our passing game just really struggles to get into motion sometimes, into rhythm. Chris Joins led with 11 tackles. Tackles for loss goes to DK Gilly with 2 sacks. We had 1 from Jaydan Burnett, 1 from Moses Walker. Interceptions, 1 from Kaj Sanders. Our captain there on the back end was forced to leave. 2 passes defended there from Kevin Humes. We also had a forced fumble from Chris Joins that Northwestern would end up scooping. And we had that blocked extra point from Michael Clayton, which a huge play. We had Jai Patel, a 48-yard field goal to make it just a 4-point deficit. I think that was in the third quarter, if I'm not mistaken, as he remains perfect on the season. Jacob Anderson had a punt, I think, down to the 3-yard line. So our special teams has been phenomenal to start this season. And as I said, come back next episode. We're going to be at home with a few more recruits here coming for their official visits. And we're going to be taking on the Michigan Wolverines, a very tough test, as we're now just short of being a level 10 coach. And then we can then start pouring a bunch of points and resources as we're set to unlock recruiting as a coach skill level there in our coaching skill tree. But this is where I'm going to leave you folks. Thank you so much for watching. What an episode it was. We fell behind after jumping ahead, but ultimately our first ever overtime victory in this series, our first ever overtime game, as we get a verbal commit there from Kane Burns, backfield creator quarterback out of Paramus, New Jersey. We were fighting with the Fighting Illini, but it looks like he's going to settle here and stay in state and opt to play against Illinois instead here in the Big Ten. We also get a commit here, a verbal commit from Anthony Daniels, Radford, Virginia native, 6'2", 233-pound running back, an athlete though, so we think we can play some linebacker, but ultimately I think we're going to put him at H-back and have him contribute in a number of ways on offense. And also, it's only us and Northwestern have offered him, so maybe that win over Northwestern was enough to seal the deal for him. We also get another verbal commit here from Randall Badgett, linebacker out of Jersey City, New Jersey. Dude has 85 strength, tremendous hit power there at linebacker. Maybe he can play some defensive end as well, as we actually do get the level up there for level 10, and our championship contender is now a B-, and we've gone up 7 points in the polls. We're now number 16, as this rebuild has started much better than I had imagined, but we'll see how many of these pieces we can keep intact going into next season, because the transfer portal is just out of control nowadays. So the main focus of this Warren Wolf tenure is to build a foundation and keep the foundation here at Rutgers, as we unlock tactician, and we also unlock the ability now for recruiter, as we're going to start pouring a bunch of points into that aspect of our coach. But as always, everybody, it's been real, and be well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.